Hey everyone, this is Marcia O'Connor, CEO and founder of the O'Connor Group. We are here about top three. Top three is, entrepreneurs share their secrets and their mistakes. And I think a lot of times there is a falsehood about entrepreneurship that it's easy and it's so much fun. It is fun, but I don't think it's easy. And you're going to hear experiences from a variety of individuals who are either just starting out in their careers or have been doing it for several years or have a solo entrepreneurship or have partners and have a big team. And I think you need to hear all those experiences to help you become a better entrepreneur as well. So sit back, enjoy, be careful if you're driving right now, and welcome to Top 3.
Marcia, hi.
Hey, Megs.
We're celebrating 15 years this year.
Can you believe that?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. It's awesome.
How'd you get here?
Well, I would say it wasn't like overnight, obviously. Started in a basement room with no windows, a computer, and a piece of paper and my pen. And you start making phone calls. I mean, how do you make the phone ring? You pick up the phone and make the phone calls.
What did Mike say when you said you're starting your own business?
So Mike being my husband, when I started my own business, he just said, yeah, go for it. And I sat there like, are you sure? And I said, because I had a really good friend of mine, and he said, you have to be okay to lose the house. And I came home and I just said, hey, I need to talk to you. So I really want to do this, and I got to make sure that you're okay losing the house. And he was just like washing dishes. He's like, yeah, okay. And I sat there like, I'm not sure he really heard me. Because when I say lose the house, I mean like ground zero. Yeah, and so he's like, no, we're good. And so you're like, okay, great. And so you have that, comfort zone. I think it's harder because I started in a recession, or little did I know the recession we were going into. Mm-hmm. But 2009 was hard, and we lost a lot of our clients because they ran out of money. Yeah. And then when things got tight, I had to dip into my 401k, and I never told them because that wouldn't have gone very well. And one day I promised to pay it back, and I did. But, you had to do what you had to do. You had to pay payroll. And one of my goals in my life is I will never, ever miss a payroll, no matter what. And I haven't done it yet. So far, so good.
So thinking about starting your business in a recession and then rewind a couple years to the beginning of the pandemic, tell us about that. What were those feelings like? You're starting in a recession by yourself.
Yep.
In a pandemic, you have 50 plus people at this point.
Yep.
So tell me about these feelings.
Well, I think when you start, you don't think about stuff like that. You don't want to think like that. You have to keep it all positive. Mm-hmm. If you put negative thoughts in your head immediately, like negative things just start happening. Yeah. And so you had to be positive about the whole idea. And the hard part for me is, like I mentioned before, we had 5 clients left in December of 2008. And within 2 weeks before Christmas, 4 of them called, Marcia, I'm really sorry, ran out of money, and I don't need your consultant anymore, and we're going to end the project. And I was like, oh, crap. I have 1 client left. I was working on that client. I had to do everything possible to make sure that client was taken care of, and I did. Whatever they needed, I did. Now, it wasn't as much as I needed to pay, the family expenses, but you just make do. You clip coupons. My son would, I would take him all the time and say, he got him to the point where he was so used to buying red tag food that when we buy stuff that wasn't red tag, he said, Mom, I can't buy it. And I said, why not? And he said, there's no red tag on it. So, that's good to know for a kid young.
Yeah.
Now he's a penny pincher. But I do believe that you have to figure out, what do you really need to survive? And I think a lot of people need a lot less than they think they do.
Yeah. Let's go back to your son, Zach. Mm-hmm. When you first started the business, I know the story, but share what he said to you that made an impact for you to move forward with starting the business.
Sure. I was in business development. I was doing a lot of events in the evening. And he was 7, and he looked up over the counter and said, Mom, can I see you more? And as a mom, and I was just like, wow. I said, yes. I mean, you're my pride and joy, so we're going to make this work. And So 6 months later, it gave me, that was probably the fire in the engine that like, I'm doing this and I will not fail. Failure was not, my motto was failure was not an option. You know, my brother-in-law, I remember we had this conversation, we were in Hawaii this summer with the whole family, and he said, I'm sure you had a bunch of clients before you went on your own, right? I said, nope, I didn't have one. He's like, well, how did you get business? And then I just, I told him something pretty funny, but a little crude. So I won't say it here, but it was funny. He's like, it's funny. He's like, no, how'd you get business? I said, like anybody else, you pick up the phone, you start having meetings. I had this great little office at Corner Bakery in King of Prussia. That was my office, and I would tell people, the larger clients, that my office was under renovation. And since I lived in King of Prussia, I would put Suite 100. My husband would be like, why is the mail coming in saying Suite 100? I said, well, that's my now office. And he's like, what? I said, hey, it's working. People think we have an office in King of Prussia.
Yep.
So you had to fake it till you make it kind of a deal. It wasn't until like 7 years later did I have an office.
Yeah.
But nobody needed to know that. I just had to look bigger than what I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have to fake it anymore.
No, I don't have to fake it anymore. We have an office. We're sitting in our office.
We're sitting in our office.
Yeah.
Tell me, so, thinking about you being able to see your son more, something, being a working mom, what I see is, the availability to have flexibility, being able to make games, go to the doctors if we need to. We have a lot of working parents here at the O'Connor Group, and I know that's very important to you. Mm-hmm. So, you base the business off of that. So tell me more about the culture you've created here at the O'Connor Group.
Well, yeah, I just never understood why you had to be in Philadelphia in an office at 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and you're getting your work done at home at the same time. So I was always a little bit ahead of the game before COVID in regards to remote. We were sort of remote beforehand. You had the opportunity to work at home as well, way more than it is like, even now it's better, but we've come a long way. Mm-hmm. I just didn't I felt like more of it was a power play for former bosses. Yeah. And I just never understood it when I was still getting the work done at home. And I just wanted to make my son's appointment. I didn't want to feel guilty going to a doctor's appointment for my kid. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It is why we are on this world, if you want to have a family and all, and be there for them. And I had talked to too many women who were very professionals, and they just had massive regret because they didn't see their son's games. They couldn't get out early. They couldn't go to this. They couldn't go to their doctor's visits. And I just said that was not going to be me. I wanted to live the life I wanted to see. I grew up, we didn't have money at all. And I just didn't want to be around all that. I wanted to have a family where I came home. I asked my son every day, how was your day today? How was school? Even though he would do his playing and all, I would still be working from 3 to 5. And then we'd have dinner together. We'd do our stuff, play, bath. And then he'd go to bed. I'd go back to work. So for a good 3 years, I'd go to bed probably 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'd wake up at 6. And I'd make breakfast. That was a big thing for me, to make breakfast and make dinner. And my husband's like, you don't have to do that. I said, no, I want to do that. There's a difference. Yeah. And so now we have this big philosophy here. It's family first. If a kid is sick, I'm like, why are you talking to me? Take care of your kid. Mm-hmm. I'm like, take care of your parent. Yep. I said, you get this one time and one time only. And I think that's really important. I think people feel very comfortable with their kids and doing all that here. And I'm very proud of that. A lot of companies are better at it now. But before COVID, they were horrible at it. And I just, why? Like, if you think about it, if you're 80 years old, is it going to be your boss next to your deathbed, or is it going to be your kids and your family? And to me, it's going to be hopefully your kids and your family. Mm-hmm. So you have one shot to do this, so do it right. Yep.
You've had a lot of good memories here at the O'Connor Group. What would you say is a standout best day for you?
Oh my God, there's no one
so
day,
many good ones.
Megan. There's like several. I mean, it's like somebody's joy of telling me they're having a baby and they've had so many issues and problems for like 2 years, and finally saying, I'm pregnant. I mean, that is a great feeling to have as a team. It's a great feeling to win a super large client, and and they keep asking for more work from us, and now we're doing various states and all with them. It's a great thing to hear that we've just expanded to Raleigh, and it's a dream come true to be expanding to other locations. It's a dream come true that I have 3 amazing VPs, and our team underneath them, and everybody supports each other, and they live the core values. So I don't think there's not one day. It's probably more of accumulation. But it's also seeing all the pictures around this room of how many fun things we've had with our town halls and going to shows and Phillies games, and last week was Oktoberfest, and it's just helping even connectors who care, all the good we do to help other people out there as a team.
Yep.
That's huge. I mean, last week we collected all that food, cat food, dog food, and perishable diapers,
Oh my gosh.
everything.
All
And
the
they were
things.
so appreciative. And this team, if you asked, they always come through.
Yeah.
So accumulation of a bunch of stuff.
I mean, I think if you take care of your employees, like you truly have an employee first mentality,
Yeah.
they'll take care of you.
Yes.
You create loyalty, trust, and they're going to want to do better work for their clients. So, I mean, that's exactly what you do here.
Yeah, I try to. But I also like to hear from everybody, what can I do better?
Yeah.
Because everything can be done better.
I
And
know you ask every day.
I ask every day, how
do.
can we do it better? And I really do believe in that and saying, is this the right thing? Should we be doing this? How are we going to get from here to here? What I don't like is, I'm not a mind reader. And so I love people just call me out of the blue and be like, hey, you have a second to talk? Absolutely. I don't ever want to hear that we've had too many levels here,
Yep.
that they don't have the opportunity to do that, because I'm pretty open. What I do like, though, is someone telling me, what's your thoughts of how to fix that? What do you think? Don't look for me to fix it. Figure out, like, if you come to the idea with me, like, how would you fix it? And let's put something together. We're having our own internship program now. Our young emerging leaders program that we have here, I said, come back to me with it, and they did. And now we're interviewing people for a potential internship, and it's not just any internship. It's a very well thought out program that we're instituting in the spring, and they're doing all the legwork behind it, and I'm so proud of them because they had an idea, they're going for it, they're doing it, it's moving along, and we're probably going to have 2 interns in the spring. So that to me is super awesome.
I was blown away by the level of candidates that were presented and just the thoughtfulness of the entire program itself. And I love what you said. You're managing them. It's not you managing them. It's not the directors managing them. It's the emerging leaders managing them, because then it gives them professional development opportunities.
Absolutely.
So it's great. So, last question for you. Well, what's next for you and what's next for the O'Connor Group?
Well, we just opened Raleigh. We want to open up 2 other locations as well, but after seeing Raleigh and how successful it was overwhelming amount of work that they want to do with us. So we want to do it and do it right and do it well. I'm not that person who's ever going to be the rabbit and the turtle. I'm definitely the turtle. We're going to get there, but we're going to do it right.
Yep.
And a lot of times I have a lot of competitors who just want to get there fast, sales. And sales is great, but you have to maintain those sales and maintain your people. And if you can master all that, then you have success, I think. And so I would say it's still the growth that we're going to do. We're going to also do more around learning and development. So that's coming out soon. And we have some other nonprofit initiatives that we're going to be doing you'll hear about soon. So there's a lot. It's never dull. We're not done anytime soon. So get ready for more fun coming your way.
Can't wait.
Yay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, Meg.